Well, apparently banks have been forced into doing something which I'm guessing they probably won't like too much. I mean, let's face it, they're closing branches left, right and centre at the moment, it seems. No doubt, of course, to push us to use online banking, and for a lot of people that is a massive kick in the gonads, isn't it? Because, let's face it, at the moment it's going to hit the less tech savvy and possibly a few older people the hardest. Whilst I'm sure both they and the government would probably love to prefer a cashless society, but unfortunately for them it seems like a spanner has been thrown into their gonads, because apparently, according to this article, banks will be forced to plug what is referred to as cash deserts. And what are they? They are apparently where there's no bank branches or ATMs at all. And it says that the new powers will not prevent bank branches from closing, but it will have an impact on where branches are a key local source of cash, according to the regulator. John Howells, Chief Executive of ATM Link Network, said that FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, say that any location that is set to lose its final branch must have cash facilities in place before that branch shuts. Which, let's face it, must be a relief to quite a lot of people out there. And whilst that is good, I personally think they could go a bit further. Why not have a building where all banks are housed? I mean, for example, you might need to do a few transactions, which, let's face it, will more than likely be easier in a bank rather than an ATM. So you go in and speak to a cashier who then asks you, what bank do you bank with? And then, of course, tell them, and they do it on their computer. And all bank branches would then be connected in one building. Which, let's face it, might be a bit busier than going to your local bank because you've basically got all bank branches in one. In my opinion, that's surely better than the bank branch closing completely, isn't it? Anyway, it continues. The move comes as the usage in cash has apparently increased for the first time in a decade as households look to balance their budgets. Coins and banknotes accounted for nearly a fifth of transactions apparently in 2022, according to the British Retail Consortium's annual payments survey. Natalie Seeney, the chairperson of Cash Access UK, said, crucially, not everyone is ready or able to use digital services, and also that face-to-face and ATM cash withdrawals are still vitally important for millions of individuals and small businesses across the UK and will be for many years to come. Well, it's great they've finally started to realise that. The rules apparently will require banks and building societies designated by the government to take into account local factors in any area where they plan to close a branch. These include the number of pensioners living in the region and the nearest cash point. Because let's face it, they're quite often not just down the road, are they? And the consultation will remain open until February the 8th, and the FCA expect to finalise rules by July.